What's going on, everybody? I'm Captain RoBear. I'm a storyteller in the space of Dungeons and Dragons, of TTRPGs, of any vessel that you want to deliver stories. I had no assumption that at any point in time anyone ever needed my opinion to address the current situation. I figured, like most things, that it could be sorted simply and civilly over time and not require all of us turning our chicken heads and getting rustled up. But at this point now, the 20th of January, where now I'm starting to lose sleep, I have no reason to whatsoever. I have to watch my friends that work in the industry deal with harassment that they never signed up for. People that only wanted to spread the joy that is collective storytelling, all of a sudden become under fire. We've had to deal with a lot in the last couple of months. What you don't know is your friends behind the scenes, well, they've known about these changes for a while. They've been sweating it before Christmas. Your favorite creator that makes content for D&D has probably known about this for a long time. Thought about it into Christmas, all the way in to while they were thinking about where my income's going to be in the next year, buying presents and Christmas gifts or holiday gifts for their loved ones. All the while of this uncertainty, this unsettling feeling that things were changing. In life, there is no certainty. In business, there is no certainty. I was a tavern owner for 15 years. Not in any day did I ever think I was going to wake up and not be a tavern owner. But COVID happened. Changed my life. Changed most of our lives. I had to find a way to become a storyteller, not behind a bar, but one behind a virtual bar. Life changes and things move fast. But there's one thing that can always be certain: civility, humanity, being an individual that's part of a community. Those things don't change. And that's where we sit now. And try as I must to sit on the sidelines to have things sorted out so I don't need to comment. Because the last thing anyone needs is another opinion out into the void. But it seems like everybody is missing the point. At the end of the day, here we sit, sorting out between what a corporation's best interests are versus what our hobby is. People work for that corporation. People work for other corporations of its competition. Some of us work in the creator-verse that depend on the things that those corporations give us. We're all tied together in one big mass. Yet, we want to be divisive and fight as if we are not. At this point, I am just frankly done. And I'm done with people attacking employees of the Wizards of the Coast. I'm done with people attacking anyone who plays in a particular system. I'm done with all of it. What needs to happen now more than anything else is people need to come together as a community and understand what they love. And they need to protect that. At the end of the day, nobody owns storytelling. No one ever will. Wizards has come with a lot of concessions and sent that back to the community. You need to send the proper feedback over their way. But most importantly, out of all of this, you need to protect the things that matter most. You need to be a human about this. Quit acting like somebody else on Twitter is a username. That's a person that is behind it. Act as if you were in the same room. I challenge all of you to think before what you say, as if Mama or Grandma RoBear was sitting right there watching it. I'm done with the harassment. I'm done with the pressure. At the same time, everyone who's invested and bought products on D&D Beyond when it was an open marketplace and it was a third-party provider, they deserve to have the right of those purchases left open. It's not fair to any of them, now that they have been purchased and acquired, to be locked behind a walled garden to where they can't be used anywhere else. It's best for everybody to have open competition and to let them use that on the virtual tabletop of their choice. The execs that make the decisions know more than anyone else. We are reliant on these virtual tabletops now more than we ever have, COVID and beyond. You should be able to take your resources and use them where you like. You bought them in that first place knowing that. You shouldn't be locked down to a place. And that's the truth, whether it happens or not. You should be able to use your own homebrew. You should not be locked down individually. It says in the own manuals that these are guidelines to the rules. You should not be forced now into a virtual tabletop or a situation that tells you that this is the only way that you can play this game. It's not fair and it's not right, and that's where we're headed. And nobody's talking about it. And it's making me sick that nobody's talking about it. Because that's where it's going to head. You should be able to take your rule set and play where you want. This is about people. And unfortunately, during all of this, we have folks that have large voices. And it's a time to make large gains. People want to be the loudest person held in the room. And everybody that knows me understands I'm a very, very loud person. But I make sure to do that in a physical room. Most of the time, the internet does not need me to scream into the void. But it's time to make a stand. I'm done. I'm done with you targeting Wizards employees, Hasbro folks, making assumptions. I'm done with people stirring up the plot just to make folks angry. I'm done with it all. I'm ready for content to come back to content. What you may not know is because all this uncertainty, people's shows have been canceled left and right. This isn't a crazy field. We live literally in what could be considered community or small public theater. This is not a riches opportunity. Outside of a handful of the studios that you may know, most of this is small-time improv made by folks that love what they're doing. And now there's less opportunity than there's ever been. And each waking day that we go on with this, there'll be less opportunity. And that makes me sad. Because I got into this at a place where there was so much love. And so quickly, everyone else wants it to turn into something else. But we can change that. There's feedback. Go ahead, even though they control the conversation, which isn't great. They own the feedback that you send to OGL. They can come back with whatever statement we want, or they want. Give your honest feedback. You should be able to take your materials and use them where you want. I want you to defend the right for the purchases that you've made. I've made the tweet 24 hours ago that I feel sick to my stomach that I've recommended the tools of D&D Beyond only to have them held hostage as something that may or may not be used as a bargaining chip. We don't know the final outcome. You should still let your voice be known. For anyone who's used their hard-earned money to buy the digital tools. At the end of the day, there are room for partnerships and for them to proliferate. Paizo has partnered with Foundry VTT and has opened up their entire rule set without purchase onto the VTT. These are the things that we should be looking forward in an open source world. The rules do not need to be held behind the walled garden. Adventures, pathways, exciting new elements are what should be monetized and sent out for a community to fiendishly want and enjoy. We should stop spending money to try to build walls, but knock them down and to build a bigger community off of it. I'm exhausted like everybody else. I want things to go back to civility. And what it's going to take is everybody tomorrow, when you all log on in Twitter, when you see this, stop your grifts. Stop your outlandish statements. Stop your clickbait YouTube videos. Stop harassing employees that you don't know. It's as simple as that. My challenge for everyone in the community, go play a game. That's what I'm going to do. Go play. It's what brought us all here in the first place. Play with somebody you don't know. Play with the table that you do know. Get back to what brought us here in the first place. That's how we'll go forward. Much love, everybody.